Introducing the Agenda Women Summit 2022 under the theme What's Next? Working Smart and Living Well. An event curated to discuss global and personal insights on what is next for the modern working woman. The summit will unpack conversations around our relationships with money, self-care, work, mental health, personal networks, and mentorship post-COVID. Get your tickets with a special discount of 20% for all Wisdom and Wellness listeners. Look out for a fireside chat on wellness that is powered by us, Wisdom and Wellness. See you on the 27th of August. Expect a full day of networking and learning. Hey guys, welcome to our first episode of the Wisdom and Wellness podcast season 2. I'm so excited. And more than anything, I'm excited for our guest today. She's someone really, really special that I met recently and our interaction was insane. I had to get her on my seat. So today's guest is Nomndeni Mdakhi. You probably know her as the founder of Agenda Women. But before that, she comes from KZN, KwaZulu-Natal, in a small town called Newcastle. She came to Johannesburg to come and complete her studies in marketing at the University of Johannesburg. She's had quite a journey in entrepreneurship and she's had quite a few projects, and some of them include a DJing school for females. How innovative. And this was called Fuse Academy. Then she later on started Edits Communications, where she was a brand manager and she was liaising with different brands, and now recently she is busy with Agenda Women. Introducing my guest for today, Nomndeni.
My story of following my breadcrumbs, and I can tell it in retrospect. When you meet me when I'm 25, I'm definitely not talking about women.
Okay.
So am I supposed to suffer at that point and say I don't know what my purpose is? I didn't know at 25 that I'd be talking about women at 38.
Sure.
But at 38, I'm very clear about the fact that this is where I'm supposed to be. At 25, I'm thinking I want to build an Ogilvy. I want to employ 5,000 people, and I want to have all these brands that are our clients. So what I'm saying is, wherever you are now, whatever strikes your interest, because even at 25, I didn't just think Ogilvy, you know? I was also thinking, can I be Steve Stout? Because I'm in the entertainment industry. Everything was so ego-driven. I wanted whatever it is that I was doing must be big, you know? So I'm not saying find your one thing now. Follow what is calling you.
Sure.
Because it's going to lead you where God needs you to be. Follow what's calling you. If it's 10 things at one time, have a hobby, do some at work. This expectation that life is linear is the problem.
Yeah.
Follow what is calling you. If marriage is calling you, go there.
Yeah.
I went there when marriage called.
Yeah.
When I met my ex-husband, I had no idea. I didn't have the ambition to be an Ogilvy. I had so many things that interested me, and I read up on all of them. And I was always curious. I'm just generally a curious person. I'm saying live.
I love that.
Live.
Yeah.
Live in what is calling you now.
Yeah.
It's going to guide you to the thing that you need to become. I find that a lot of people struggle with this because they are afraid of what is calling them.
Yeah.
You know what's calling you, but uyasaba.
I think also it's attachment to the outcome. And this is why I love Deepak Chopra, because he speaks so much about being detached.
Yes.
So in the process, and you wanted to talk so much about process, in the process of finding whatever it is you want to find, we need to let go of the attachment of what it must look like. Because sometimes I think you've probably found it, or you're probably in it, but it does not look like what you've attached it to.
Let me show you how. My first business was a DJing school for girls.
There we go. There's the little hints, the breadcrumbs.
But I'm in there like, we're going to just do things big.
Sure.
And then I leave that and I go and I study marketing consultancy. That has nothing to do with women. God was taking me through all the things that I needed together to then do what I need to do. He had to show me woman at the beginning. In itself, that was a hint.
Yes.
But I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
In actual fact, I wasn't even asking God what my purpose is. I didn't care.
Yeah.
I just wanted
You
to
just
make a
wanted
lot
to
of
make money
money.
and travel and
I
be
just
a
wanted to
girl.
make a lot of money, you know?
Yeah.
And I really loved building brands. And working with Zintle, working with Oskido, working with all the celebrities that I've worked with fulfilled me.
Yeah.
Because I love building brands. I loved it. I loved winning. And then I moved from that and I'm in the marketing consultancy. I moved into that because I'm like, No one is talking to brands
Yeah,
here. You
yeah.
see, I'm not saying I want to know what my purpose is. I am following what is
What's
calling
calling,
me.
the
You know,
next thing.
I do that, and I do that for a couple of years, and ego is like skyrocketing. Unilever is calling me. I'm going in.
Imagine.
How much am I supposed to charge? Oh, this brand, I am responsible. You know, and I'm thinking when I was at varsity marketing, I never could have believed that I would do what I just wanted to get employed.
You just wanted a job,
I just
yeah.
wanted a job.
Yeah.
But I kept following the thing. I remember even when we started the school, Nozintle, she came to me and she's like, I've been thinking about this DJing school for girls.
Yeah.
At the time, I was feeling so unfulfilled at my job. So I followed that. Someone could have said, how are you going to pay for
Yeah.
and of course, those things are valid
Very
questions.
important, yeah.
But the reason I am here today is because I kept following it, no matter how scary it was.
Yeah.
And no matter how many bad decisions I made along the way, they were all necessary for what I can share today around how you can make better decisions or how someone can follow their path. But just follow. Just follow. It is scary to be interested in agriculture when it's a boring thing and all you want is to wear Chanel every day. You can't.
Yeah, it doesn't come together, yeah.
Especially when you're young, you're just like, no, I want a job that makes me look fancy. Follow the thing. If
Yeah.
it's starting a small garden in your house,
Do that.
do that. Mark Nepo, who's an amazing, amazing poet. I love the way he writes and speaks. He says, when you love gardening, you don't have to be a gardener. Just garden.
Sure. You don't need the title.
When you love singing, you don't need to be Beyonce. Just sing.
Just saying.
Sometimes this attachment to what the big thing should be
Holds us back.
holds us back. Because I could have said, I haven't become an Ogilvy, so I'm going to fight until I'm an Ogilvy. And the only way you know when to let go is when you are living in your body and you're conscious. When
Yeah.
your body says, I need to rest,
You listen.
and you rest.
Cicely Tyson speaks a lot about that, Wuti. She, in her entire career, and I mean, she started acting when there were no black women on TV, and she was a dark-skinned black woman. And there were not roles all the time. There still aren't many roles for black women. But she was able to say no to a role because your body tells you that this is not it. And I think even for me, in the process of, I took a break, a very intentional break, where I just wanted to find out where's wisdom and wellness going, what's happening. And there were these, that big Ogilvy, there's this big thing. And it's exciting and it's fun. But then in those moments of stillness, you listen, you say,
Not now.
no. Or my body does not agree, like my being does not agree with going to that direction. So where are we going? What are we doing? How
I'm
are we
so
doing
glad
it?
you brought up wisdom and wellness because I think our stories are very similar.
Yes.
In that idea of you have a big vision, but you haven't seen it.
Yeah, the conception phase of
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
our guys we born a little later, and that's when your ability to listen in on your own conversation with God is going to be so crucial, Mpoomy, because what you want to build is going to change so many times that you need to know. You're the only person who will know this is not the direction now. This is because also everyone will come and give you advice
they have
based
advice.
on what they have seen. And that's when the importance of, I don't know, I mean, I've been saying this so many times, but it's just in my head and in my spirit that you need to eavesdrop in your own conversation with God before you pick up social media to guide you, before you listen to this podcast to guide you. Have that, and that's prayer, right?
Yeah, it is prayer.
It is prayer
It is
for people
prayer.
who are in the church. For other people who are not in the church, maybe it's meditation.
Yeah.
For other people, it's just sitting and listening
Being
to,
still.
Being
Yeah,
still.
being still.
It's so important. It's so important. It's so important.
Our conversation, we met a few days before this episode came, and I had an idea of how our conversation was going to go and what I was going to ask you and blah, 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 blah. And I also had my big idea.
Like your A-type personality
A-type
self.
personality.
Prepared.
And I had this entire plan of how I'm going to tell you, and then I'm going to say, okay, so what are we doing next,
Yeah.
And I got there and I had tears in my eyes the whole time, and even now, I'm sure you can see my eyes are
And I'm not
glossy.
going there with you because I'm also a crier.
You know what? I've got tears in my eyes because I think your journey, your truth, and how vulnerable and honest you are speaks to hearts. It spoke to my heart, and it made me feel like everything you live is so true, because after leaving your presence, I felt like I'm enough. What I thought in the beginning is enough. I don't need all these extra things. And you said one thing that stood out. You said, I've got nothing to prove.
Yeah.
And that made me question so many things. And I said, why am I putting myself under all this? Who am I proving these things to? And those words still ring, that I've got nothing to prove.
And life is such a dichotomy, right? Because I still move into the world with the expectation that I would love to produce excellence.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
That's the
Absolutely.
dichotomy, right?
Absolutely.
Because someone who's listening to this could say, then how do I, then why am I?
Yeah, what am I even doing?
And it all goes back to that stillness in understanding what peace looks like for you. I got into the world with the expectation that I want to do excellent. 27 August, please, when you walk in there, fireworks. But there is never a day, even as I work towards the 27th of August, that I dishonor my peace. I don't dishonor myself. I don't. Mangikhathele ngiyalala.
So fundile angithi.
Mangisebenza ngiyasebenza. When I have to go and have dinner with my kids, I go and have dinner with my kids. Because life is now. It's not the 27th of August.
Sure.
Life is today, now.
That's so good. Life is now. It's not the 27th
how did
of August.
I show up in the most self-honoring manner today? Because on the 27th of August, I'll still be honoring myself. But I don't have to dishonor myself today in order for the 27th of August to be excellent.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of words right now for someone who's listening. But this is lived experience that you can never quite quantify unless you're at that point when it needs to be part of the conversation that you're having with yourself.